Hello friends, today I will explain chapter number 3, Liberalization, Privatization and Globalization. Economic crisis. In 1991, India met with an economic crisis relating to its external debt. The government was unable to make repayment on its borrowing from abroad. Foreign exchange reserves were not sufficient to repay the debt. The prices of essential goods were rising and the import were growing at a very high rate. Causes of economic crisis: the continued spending on development programs of the government did not generate additional revenue. The government was not able to generate sufficient fund from internal sources such as taxation. Expenditure on areas like social sector and defense did not provide immediate return, so there was a need to utilize the rest of its revenue in a highly effective manner, which the government failed to do. The income from public sector undertaking was also not very high to meet the growing expenditure. Foreign exchange borrowed from other countries and international financial institutions was spent on meeting consumption needs and to meet repayment on other loans. Effect of economic crisis. First one is increasing fiscal deficit, adverse balance of payment and rise in prices, high rate of deficit financing. Now, fourth topic is emergence of new economic policy. The measures adopted in the new economic policy can be broadly classified into groups. First one is stabilization measures. They are short-term measures which are intended to correct some weakness that have developed in the balance of payment and to bring inflation under control. Structure reform. Second one is structure reform. They are long-term measures aimed at improving the efficiency of the economy and increasing its international competitiveness while removing the rigidities in various segments of the Indian economy. The various structural reforms are categorized as liberalization, privatization, globalization. Liberalization means it is defined as the loosening of government regulation in a country or to allow for private sector company to operate business transactions with favor restrictions. The following are the objective of liberalization. It increases competition among domestic due to increased competition among domestic industry, to increase foreign capital formation and technology, to decrease the debt burden of the country, to encourage export and import of goods and services, and finally, last point is to expand the size of the market. Economic reform under liberalization. Reform under liberalization were introduced in the following sector. Industrial sector reform. The following steps were taken to deregulate the industrial sector: abolition of industrial licensing, contraction of public sector, dereservation of production area, expansion of production capacity, freedom to import capital goods. Financial sector reform means banking and non-banking institution. It covers banking and non-banking institution, stock exchange market, foreign exchange market. In this sector, as a part of reform process, the role of Reserve Bank of India was reduced as a facilitator. The commercial banks were given freedom to decide their interest rate. Private bankers were allowed to operate in this sector and foreign institutional investors were encouraged to invest in India. Tax reform is also called fiscal reform. Tax reform are concerned with the reform in government taxation and public expenditure. Policies which are collectively known as its fiscal policy. Fiscal policy reform simplified the tax structure and lowered the rate of taxation. This reduced tax evasion and increased government revenue. Foreign exchange reform or external sector reform. External sector reform include reform relating to foreign exchange and foreign trade. The following reforms were initiated in this sector. De-evolution of rupee means India rupee was devalued against foreign currency. Devolution means girawat aana. Other measures, import quotas were abolished. Policies of import licensing were almost scrapped. Import duty was reduced. Export duty was completely withdrawn. Now, what is privatization? Privatization, it refers to giving greater role to private sector, thereby reducing the role of public sector. Government company, public company are converted into public company in two ways: by withdrawal of the government from ownership and management of the public sector company by the method of disinvestment. Objectives of privatization: improving the financial condition of the government, raising fund through disinvestment, reducing the workload of public sector, increasing the efficiency of the government, undertaking and attract foreign direct investment also called FDI, providing better goods and services to consumer. Globalization, it means integration of the economy of the country with the world economy. Globalization encourages foreign trade and private institution foreign investment. Benefit of liberalization, privatization and globalization policies are: service sector witnessed phenomenal growth. The opening up of the economy has led to rapid increase in foreign direct investment and foreign exchange reserves. There has been an increase in the foreign exchange reserves from about $6 billion in 1990 to 1991 to $304 billion in 2013 to 14. India is seen as a successful exporter of auto parts, engineering goods, IT software, and textile in the reform period. Rising prices have also been kept under control. Failure of LPG policies, neglect of agriculture, uneven growth in industrial sector, less employment opportunity, failure of disinvestment policy, failure of fiscal policies, concentration of growth process. Now, what is World Trade Organization? World Trade Organization was founded in 1995 as the successor organization to the General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. It was expected to establish a rule based on trade regime in which nations cannot place arbitrary restrictions on trade. Its purpose was mainly to expand production and trade in order to have optimum utilization of the world resources and promote globalization. The World Trade Organization agreement covered trade in goods as well as services to facilitate international trade through removal of tariff as well as non-tariff barrier and provide better market access to all countries. Concept of demonetization. Demonetization refers to the withdrawal of existing currency and introducing new currency in its place. India faced its first demonetization in 1946, the second one in 1978, and the third one is 2016 when PM Narendra Modi banned 500 and 1000 notes with immediate effect. Some of the objectives of demonetization are as follows. It is done to curb black money. It is undertaken to control inflation. It is undertaken to stop flow of funds to illegal activity. It aims at making a cashless activity. Taxless Society. Concept of Goods and Services Tax (GST). It is a value-added tax levied on most goods and services sold for domestic consumption. It is paid by the consumer. What is remitted to the government by businessmen selling the goods and services. According to Article 366(12)(a), GST means any tax on supply of goods or services or both except tax on supply of alcohol liquors for human consumption. Some of the important objectives of levying this tax are as follows: to bring uniformity in tax rate and automated company, to ensure availability of input tax credit, to harmonize tax base, law and administration procedure across the country, to simplify the tax regime. That's all. Chapter finished. Thank you.